Hello and welcome back to the rabbit descending down the hole. So we are now in chapter 3 of our saga of Joseph. In this one, I want to back up just a little bit, just for a moment, not necessarily do any overlap or anything like that, but let's get into the psychological mindset of what's going on here. I call this one the Three Roads into Darkness. I know, catchy title, huh? I thought so. So let's look at the brothers for a minute, okay? So the brothers that did all this, they expected to have a level of relief. And, I guess really not feeling any guilt about it. We finally got rid of them. But you gotta think, wait a minute, you can't tell me that at least one of them in the group felt a little remorse. Are they all psychos? I don't know. They very well could have been. But, you got to think one of them would have said, well, maybe, he didn't, but whatever the case may be. But you have to understand the attitude of mobs, the mob attitude, where even if you don't believe in it, you'll go along with the mob just to go along to get along type stuff. And, I'm sure you know people like this. I know people like this. It's like, you don't even believe in that. Why are you going for that? Or this doesn't even it's not even like a logical conclusion here. And yet you're going for it with like, you're going into the scheme for some reason to think that you're cool, I guess. I don't know. People are weird sometimes. But, so you got to think at some point in time, something hit the brothers. The scripture really doesn't get into it, but it just seems hard to believe that all of them were just like literally a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, And then, well, let me say this. So they removed Joseph out of the picture. And in the process of removing him, they've also removed a part of themselves. Does that make sense? Because look what you did. Look at the extreme you went to. You broke yourself to break him. Think about it. Anyway, let's get on to Jacob and Rachel. Rachel, his mom. I don't think I've mentioned her by name so far. She's important in Jacob's life. We don't know necessarily how important she is she's his mom. She's his mom and she's Benjamin's mom. So we know that there's a motherly thing there. And she had to be upset about this. There's just no way that she's not. The scripture really kind of, focuses on Jacob here, which the guy is just so annoying. He really is. But you have to see that. He had to have been feeling guilt. In fact, he does feel guilt. He weeps and he's very upset about all this, Excuse me. But at the same time, what can he do? As a dad, you want to fix it or something, but they don't even know where he is. They kind of know. He was sold to the Ishmaelites, and they know they were taking him to Egypt because that's where the slave market is and things like that. But you don't know where he is, and can they get him back? Who knows? When you think about that coat, think about it's almost like some gang thing. You ever seen the movie Colors, that old movie that was in the 80s? My gosh, this is over a coat his dad made. I'm sure mom had influence on it, but, this is really, You know, or was it just a dream, or was it a combination of this, combination of that? And there had to have been some underlying things. I mean, to go to that level of extreme, unless you are so involved in your emotions that you cannot control anything that you're doing, over something really kind of petty. Self-control is a major thing, you know. Stop getting all upset over petty things. My gosh. I mean, we all know people like that. It's like, really? You know, we're gonna fire half the staff over that, you know, type stuff. Come on. So now let's look at Joseph. Goes into Egypt, goes to the slave market. He's gonna be bought by someone else. And if you study, you know, the history of slavery, I mean, I'm not giving a whole history lesson. I mean, all the ethnics, all the races, all the groups have been involved in this. You know, this isn't, you know, just an American thing or whatever. I mean, this is very well researched, every group. I mean, the whole thing about the white slave trade and everything. But in any case, let's think about Jacob here for a minute. He goes to the slave market. He's got these ropes on him. You know, he's tied down. He's never been in this type of situation. I mean, you have to ask just for water. And you probably won't get it. In fact, if you do ask, they might whip you. I mean, I mean, we don't know the extreme of how these were. I mean, it's very plausible, you know, to maintain dominance and get you to submit type stuff. But I mean, he's basically a country boy that was raised on a ranch or a farm. Now he's in this metropolis of Egypt, you know, this, you know, major city. He's about to get sold as if he's just a piece of merchandise. I don't know. Can you just imagine the mindset that he has right now? I mean, he is. You can't tell me he's not mad. He might be holding it in, but he's livid. And he's got to come to terms with this. I can just picture he's sitting there, his heart's probably, you know, pounding on his chest like, what's going on? You know, I don't know what to do. Things like that. And what about who gets you? You know, you could get someone that just wants to like use you as like a gladiator, they're just going to buy you so that you can die, so they can profit off it. Or are you going to get somebody that's just going to work you in the fields 12 hours a day, you know, until you finally collapse? You know, or are you going to get someone who's reasonable? You know, I mean, just like old boss, you never know what kind of boss you're going to get. You know, so, and you can't tell me he wasn't praying to God about this. He knew about God. You know, he knew about God from his dad. You know, so you can't tell me that wasn't on the table. You know, and you can't tell me he wasn't mad at God either. I mean, he could have not been. He could have just been mad at his brothers. I mean, it's very plausible. You know. Whatever the case is, these are three dark roads. However, as crazy as it sounds, for Jacob, or for Joseph, this is actually the best thing that could have ever happened to him. Crazy as that sounds. Stay tuned for the next one. We're going to get into it. See you soon.